So James bringing up Copa America, we are U.S. men's national team fans, the three of us. That's actually, I think, the thing that brought us together. How do you guys feel about that performance? 2-0 win over Bolivia, who apparently is way worse than I thought they were. Apparently,
they are actually. I think they're last in South America right now, in the World Cup qualifiers.
It sounds like they've been last for a hot minute as well.
Yes, they haven't been good. They haven't been good since like the 90s. So it was a good performance by the U.S. to capitalize.
What do you think, James? Did you watch the thing?
I watched the whole thing. I thought it was a good performance, and it's something to build upon. What I really liked about it, from a perspective of all the games I've been watching, is that U.S. looks better than some of those European teams that were playing. I mean, maybe the team they were playing was maybe a bigger step down in quality than these other European teams that are taking on. But I mean, England was not cooking on offense, and even France stumbling around, while USA was making things happen to the point where I was like, why did they bring in Pep? They gave so many chances to this guy, and he couldn't put it off. He couldn't put it away for his life. They'd already pulled Balogun at that point. Balogun had a goal. He's not the greatest. I'm wondering where the U.S. American striker is that's going to emerge. Who's that red-haired guy?
Oh, you're on team Josh Sargent?
Yeah, I was wondering where Josh Sargent is, because I mean, like, that guy scores goals.
Wasn't he hurt?
It's hard to know because Josh Sargent like struggles in a U.S. kit. He just does. Jordan Morris theorem. Here we go. He has found his slot. He lives where Pookie used to live. You know what I mean? He's gonna be there forever and have a decent career. Will that ever translate to the national team? We're yet to see. I'm actually pretty high on Haji Wright, man. Like,
everybody is.
I guess. I mean, he's a big human, man. he's a big human.
I think the $1 million question is how different this team would play under a different manager.
Yeah.
I'm going to open that can of worms. Because it almost seems sometimes that this team doesn't get to its full potential under Greg Berhalter.
It never does, dude. Like, as much positives as was in this game, we should have had a few more. You know what I mean? We should have had a few more goals. Like, we did dominate, but it just still wasn't it still looks like a team that doesn't have enough experience. But yet we went to a World Cup with the same roster. Like, it's brutal because there's not going to be a change. And as a U.S. fan, despite times I would have liked coaches to be different, I can never root against them. Like, I still am happy they won this game, but I still want everyone to evaluate it properly. Like, we can't just say get to the out of the group stage as a success. We have to win a knockout game, and I know we're drawn against either Brazil or was it Uruguay or is it Colombia, whoever. But like, if you want to be ready for prime time, you got to do it sometime. You got to do it, man.
You got to knock the teeth out of a giant. Basically.
Yes, you do. You have to put together a few quality wins, man.
So you mentioned Haji Wright, but I think we got to start mentioning some of the players that were playing and whether or not we think they're good enough, great enough, someone who's a lock. And our best players, let's just look at our best players. I'm worried that the U.S. it might fall into a one-side team because beyond Pulisic, the best player is Anthony Robinson.
Yeah, you're not wrong. He might very well continue to get better. And the dude's got an engine that will never
Didn't he get burned by Colombia though?
I fair, but like, let's be real. Like, Virgil van Dijk gets burned. You know what I mean? It happens. It just doesn't happen every time he plays somebody quality. You know what I mean?
That's
like,
key
the
to
difference
America,
is the difference is we used to live in a world where like there was a ceiling. And then if they played a team above that ceiling, they just got burned every time. Anthony Robinson is not that. He just got burned against Colombia.
He's also offensively inclined. He's
a huge driver of the offense.
And that's what I'm seeing is they're the linchpin of this team is the Pulisic, Anthony Robinson connection. And what I saw, and Alexi Lalas didn't see this, and I was like, I like Alexi, but he didn't see this. He
look like him too.
He called Reyna. I do. Like in his old curse. But he called Reyna out for having just a quiet game, and I'm like, Reyna drew 2 yellow cards. And also, I mean, like maybe it wasn't the greatest. He was assimilating, but I was like, I want to see a little bit more of the Robinson, Pulisic, Reyna connection there, and I'm wondering if that might be able to wreak a little havoc if it gets a little time to develop.
Well, I mean, it's going.
I think we haven't gotten to a point that we haven't gone over that hill. Sometimes I feel that we're almost at the point of going over that hill and actually transforming into a much better national team. I think we're still trying to figure out a bunch of things. And the problem is that we've been still trying to figure out a bunch of things for the past 4 years.
It's been 6 years.
Well,
6 years.
It should be figured out. But to me,
the only thing that is figured out is that left side, Pulisic, Reyna, Robinson. Because Weah, I'm waiting for Weah. I feel like I'm always waiting for Weah.
Well, are you kidding? Weah plays like fucking Ronaldo when he plays for the U.S.
I need more out of that right side. I'm sorry, his flank, and that was Joe Scally, Weston McKennie, and Tim Weah.
Well, don't forget who Joe Scally is in for. And if Serginho Dest was here, you'd see more balance because you normally did when Serginho Dest, like when Serginho Dest and Anthony Robinson both play, that's where the offense starts every time for the U.S. and that's why they're good. I'm 100% like I think people are sleeping on how much Weah has done. I mean, Weah scored the first goal in the World Cup. Pretty sure Weah set up one of those goals in this past game. Like he's always a threat for the U.S. He was the threat against England. Like he is a good player. He's a much better player on the U.S. than he is at his club team.
That's good. That's true.
Every time, for sure. I mean, who else do you think stood out against Bolivia?
I thought Musa when he came on.
Musa is just. I wish we could play with 12 guys because with Gio, it's like Gio Reyna, Musa. Who's going to go with McKennie and Adams and Tim Weah? Because that's the problem. If Tim Weah wasn't nearly as good as he is with the national team, you'd just have Reyna out there. And then you'd have Musa in the middle.
I'm surprised Reyna didn't come out on the stretcher, man, because those 2 yellow cards he pulled, those were some hard hits, man.
Kid's a bit tougher than he looks.
But considering that he's been injury prone, I'm surprised he walked away out.
I mean,
how about the subs? We saw Brendan Aronson, De La Torre making an appearance, Johnny Cardosa, Pepe. I thought disappointed.
Well, Pepe did all the right things except for finish. So, you know what I mean?
Is it safe to say that Pepe's overhyped?
I wouldn't say that. That's the problem. Is all these guys are kind of like it's when you have like a team with 3 quarterbacks that are all kind of at the same level. You don't know what to go with because all these guys are they all have higher potential than they're currently at while also playing well.
The problem is that we have the only one guy is Pulisic up there, and that's it. Like everybody else is like on a rotation. And we haven't found like the Scottie Pippen. We haven't found like I was going to say Magic Johnson, but he was not.
I'm hoping that's Reyna. I'm hoping that's Robinson.
Do you guys really? Are you ready to call it on Balogun? Where I'm ready to just chalk this up as one.
I'm not ready to call it on Balogun.
I mean, I just think he's had a poor calendar year. That's it.
I thought he did good against Bolivia. He was cutting lines. He was moving around. It was like, okay, great. This guy got the moves. But again, let's see if he keeps up with it. This is Bolivia after all, okay? This is like us getting excited, like if we were Mexican fans, getting excited because we beat Jamaica. So
I
until
mean,
we
a
get
win's
to
a win. A win's a
a
win.
win's a win, a win's a win, but we all know a win's a win up to the point that someone knocks you on the floor.
I mean, we're all just scared that the one thing is that we don't do anything. We get bounced instantly. And like this win is a Band-Aid enough that US keeps Berhalter, right? We either have to do something this tournament and then it's like, fine, keep Berhalter. I'm not happy about it, but I get it.
If the U.S. keeps performing on an upward trajectory, you're going to have to
correct.
Keep
but or if we get bounced out, we got to fire him. It's just I don't know.
If we don't, so you're saying what's a good point so that you will consider that we need to get rid of him? Like, do we get bounced off the quarterfinals?
For me, you have to win one knockout game.
Okay.
I don't care how the draw shook out. You have to win one knockout game, especially if this is our only win and we draw the next two.
Yeah.
Or we, especially if we finish second in the group. But like anything less than winning one knockout round game, I think I want him gone.
I think he's safer than Frank Klopas.
Oh God, that hurts.
God, oof, man, you had to go there, man.
So wait, talking about safety, there's one individual I want to bring up.
Oh, here we go.
What do you gentlemen feel or think about this Weston McKennie rumor mill? Like the possibility that BJ Callahan is going to sign Weston McKennie at 25 years old in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Ain't going to happen.
That ain't going to happen.
I don't think so.
Unless McKennie wants to derail his own career.
Yeah.
That ain't going to happen.
Well, you depend, like, how many Brinks trucks does it take to derail a career? Oscar, if we remember the Brazilian Oscar, he said it took that many Brinks trucks, and I will play in China, and I will provide for my children's children. That's literally what he said.
And look what happened. Nobody even knows about him anymore.
Well, true, but he's living his best life, my man.
I get it. It's
working for Arnautovic in Austria right now.
Those are those examples of why when people talk shit about somebody getting on the going to MLS and then getting on the U.S. men's national team, it's like, well, look at other countries. They all deal with it. They don't care where the guys come from.
You mean like Switzerland?
What I mean? You like Switzerland. Their best player.
Oh man!
The first Major League Soccer player.
Fire fans got so mad that Shaqiri scored. Had the audacity to score for Switzerland.
I do love all the memes about how he just comes out of the darkness every 2 years to play amazing for a month and a half. But
he needs to recharge.
Yeah, and then he goes into slumber.
Yeah.
But no, it's. I personally, I don't think it's going to happen. I would rather it not happen. If he goes to Cincinnati, for me, he's still a men's national team starter until he's proven to play terribly in MLS, or even if he's just serviceable. That would not be enough. You've got to be great in MLS.
Man, the only time that I ever want a current U.S. men's national team player to go from Europe to MLS is when the day comes that we don't have a salary cap, that we might we might have Pro Rel make this league actually competitive, and we actually can compete with the best in the world. Then yeah, by all means. But if you're still playing this like we're the NFL and the NBA and everybody else is non-existent to us, then no.
Well, it's never going to happen because other people are going to be like us before we're like them. I've been preaching that. But I don't know, James, what do you think about Weston McKennie in MLS? Does he instantly become a non-national team player for you?
No way. He'd still be involved in the national team. It's just be extremely not good for his career for a guy who's getting offers to play in England, in Premiership level England. It just doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
for a step backward like that. I know, and they were saying these guys might be missing home. They're at that age where they're gonna be missing home. I'm like, they're also that age where they're going to be playing the best soccer of their career, and they could be earning a lot more money over in Europe playing for some of the best.
Well, deals and all that.
Does Weston McKennie get paid more here in America than even the Premier League because of the premium? You know, this is the kind of thing that brought Dempsey and Bradley and shit back.
And those happen to be one of the worst, U.S. men's national teams. There you go. So that was the outcome of all that.
Was that the outcome of that, or the double generation that couldn't qualify for the Olympics never really panning out?
Hey, don't blame Honduras for eliminating the Olympics team. So
Has Weston McKennie tried the food in Cincinnati?
I think that might be a problem.
Yeah.
What, the chili spaghetti or whatever?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. What is it now? Crap. It's Skyline Chili, right? Am I? Or is that? Yeah, there it is. All right. So I think we had no tactical anything for this game. I think it was kind of like a game of soccer went the way it was supposed to.
Yeah.
And we're very curious on what's happening next because we have Panama next, who always concerns me because they're Panama.
Thursday night, 5:00 Central Time.
Well, let's not get confused here. Okay, this is not the Gold Cup squad. Okay, this is the full-on, full-strength U.S. men's national team. Minus what's his face? Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Dest. Minus Dest. All right.
God, I love Serginho Dest though. One of my absolute favorite current players because he's a fucking madman. Anyway, I apologize.
Who the hell gets a red card just because they're pissed off? Anyways.
I want to talk about that real quick before we end. But these yellow cards that are leading to suspensions in the rest of the tournament going into the round of 16, they're such bullshit. They're affecting the game. Everybody needs one extra yellow card. Like, Jesus.
Two's enough.
Two's not enough. Two is not enough. In 3 games, you should be able to get 3 yellow cards.
You know what? I gotta agree with Toke here, man. I think,
just don't be naughty.
Don't be naughty, and you know what? If you're gonna go down that road, your team better be desperate enough to create magic. And sometimes they do create magic.
All right. So, well, on that note, we're going to create some more magic later for you. Again, U.S. men's national team, we're just still biting our fingernails. All right. When we come back, we're going to talk about the fun summer that is upon us of all sorts of cup competitions. We're going to get into Euros and Copa America. And is there anything else going on that we're ignoring? Is the Asian Cup of Nations?
Nations League is kicking off in
boo, whatever. All right, we'll be right back.
Leo Messi's playing Copa. That's all that matters. All right, we'll be right back here on Enemies of Fire. Punt that like button.